Welcome to Sports is Life. I'm James Myers. We have a special guest today. My boy, just good friend, brother. Actually officiated my wedding. Another James, James Leckler. We're going to talk some Vikings football today. We're going to talk a little NFC North as well. Just see the outlook. Surprise, kind of to me as well, is the Vikings of the season a little bit. I'll admit, you guys have seen in my past videos, have been following along. I did not think the Vikings would be this good this year. Sam Darnold has
Hey,
really surprised me. But say what's up, James.
what's up?
What's going on? All right, let's jump into it. Vikings coming in, actually. We're going into week 11 in the NFL season. They're 7-2, man.
7-2, covering the
Seven.
spread at 6-3.
I love that. ATS against the spread. Look at that. Look at James. Love it. Coming off a gritty win, honestly. What was it, 12-7 final against the Jags in Jacksonville? Mac Jones, not even T-Law, Trevor Lawrence. So, what did you think, man? What do you think about this season so far as well, especially the play of Sam Darnold?
We were coming in and we were hoping, we were praying that we would be anywhere close, sniffing 500 by this point. And we're 7-2, so we're feeling really good. We had the six, I think outlook was 6.5 wins, and we're already past that.
Yeah,
And we're coming down the easy stretch of our season, actually, looking us in the face. So feeling pretty good.
that's great. Yeah, I think I wonder what this it probably was around 6.5, wasn't it? The season
There
win
was six and a
total?
half. Six
Dang,
and a
you
half.
already any of you bettors out there who took the over, you already cashed those tickets. That's
Yeah,
pretty crazy.
they're feeling good. You're welcome from the Vikings.
I love it. What do you think of the I'll be surprised. I wanted to say too, Brian Flores, because I remember a few years ago, like this is his second season there, right?
I think so. Yeah. Second
Because
season.
last year, that's when the defense started to play a little bit better. Because I remember those years, last few years, man, that defense was suspect. It was just basically the offense has just got to score almost every drive. I mean, that year they went to the playoffs with Cousins and they lost to Daniel Jones and the Giants in the playoffs in that first round in the wild card. They couldn't stop a nosebleed, I remember. So I think that's also been a huge factor for this team is Brian Flores changing the way the defense is. Very
Yeah.
aggressive defense.
Yeah.
Say the least. They like to blitz a lot. I know
Right.
that. I've always been a fan of Kevin O'Connell too. Shout out SDSU as well, local guy, played
Yeah.
quarterback there, but I'm a big
He
fan of
believes.
him. What do you think?
He believes. Yeah. He believes in the purple. He's here to win a championship. Yeah. Mike Zimmer was the defensive guy. We thought he was going to always keep us stout at defense, but his defense got old. Had a bunch of old UCLA linebackers trying to stop people and couldn't do it. And so, yeah, we got torched the last couple of years of Cousins' tenure. But yeah, Flores has gotten aggressive, gotten fast, which is what we needed to be. We needed to be fast and aggressive. And yeah, it's been good. But obviously surprising. I mean, Van Ginkel's been a game changer.
Yeah, the defensive
He's
end.
just a playmaker.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, the big thing is going to be can we get a pass rush down the stretch? That's that was what we were what was keeping us going the first part of the year, and now we had I think Dallas Turner might have been out a couple games, and that really hurt our pass rush. But if we can get a pass rush going, man, we're going to be tough.
Yeah, definitely I agree. Do you think Darnold? I mean, do you think Darnold's going to continue this play, or do you think are you a little worried about him? What do you think about him in the long term? Like going into if y'all make playoffs, which it's crazy to say, but it's just that your division, y'all's division. I mean, you guys are probably at the top of the wild card right now because you're in such a tough division with Detroit and Green Bay. What do you think, Darnold down the stretch? You think he's going to keep it up, or a little
He
worried,
threw
or
three picks last week. Week
yeah,
before he was a pick and no tutties. I don't think he's had a touchdown in 2 weeks, and he's yeah, man. So maybe he had one the week. Maybe he had one on our Sunday night game. But man, uh yeah, he's got a good arm, which is exactly what JJ wanted. He wanted a guy that could huck it to him, but his decision making sometimes a little makes you a little nervous. Uh, he reminds me a lot of Case Keenum. He's got a
hey,
little bit of Case in him, where who I forget who said it. I think it was Zimmer said Case has got big balls, but sometimes I wish he didn't,
yeah,
because he just chucks it and you don't know where it's going. But at least he's trying to throw the ball. He's not doesn't got Christian Ponder dump down, jitters. He knows how to throw it deep, and that always give you a chance to win if you're being aggressive on offense. So Darisaw hurts, not having Darisaw protecting him. He got knocked out against the Rams. That's a huge loss for Dalton. I actually think that's what's impacted his play recently, why he's not been as effective. He just doesn't have a clean pocket. But yeah, I'm holding out for JJ McCarthy. I think
Yeah.
everybody is. Hopefully he can grow a little facial hair and get out there, play
Get healthy.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, because he towards it. I saw he had another surgery. Was it this past week or a couple weeks
Gotta
ago?
get some swelling down. Yeah.
That's rough. That must have been a nasty injury then.
Yeah, they're good with letting him sit. I think we'll probably re-sign Darnold for next year,
You think
unless he
so?
totally
Yeah.
proves himself this next couple weeks. I think we'll stick with him. Um, yeah, I think we'll stick with him, and hopefully, if he's serviceable, we can have him next year. So JJ seems to like him.
Yeah. What
But
I was gonna say though, is he on a 1 year deal?
1 year
Darnold?
deal, 1 year
Man,
deal. So
I don't
one
know.
one year
Maybe if
for
he
10.
good.
So if we
Yeah.
can get him for cheap next year too,
You don't think another team may take a chance on him?
maybe. I mean, somebody that's like really quarterback poor. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, here's what teams I think are realizing is there's a lot of quarterbacks that are good. There's not a lot of quarterbacks that are elite. And you've got to have you got to have an elite quarterback or you've got to have an elite line on both sides. And unless you got that, you don't have a Super Bowl team. And
It's true.
so you got about 10 quarterbacks out there that could be elite depending on where they're at, their situation, 5 to 10, maybe. And Darnold's never going to be that guy. I mean, he's a good quarterback, 10 to 20 maybe. But yeah, he's not the dude. So I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, desperate team, maybe he would have to have a really good end of the year for a team to try to scoop him. Honestly, the best thing for the Vikings is a game like the Jags, where he sucks and we win, and then it keeps his trade value low and his cost value low, and then
That's
hopefully we
true.
make a little bit of run at the end with them. That's the best case scenario, and then we can maybe stock up a little bit next year before JJ gets healthy.
That's a good point. I didn't even think of that. Real quick, let's talk. How do you think the NFC North as a whole is going to shake out, or the playoff? Because I mean, yeah, you guys are in second, 7-2, and then you got Detroit, who's 8-1, and Green Bay 6-3. Bears are done. They're pretty much done already. We know that. So it's those three. But gosh, because if y'all weren't in the NFC North, man, you guys would already probably be close to wrapping up the division. But since Detroit's won 7 in a row,
Yeah,
by the
they're
way.
dirty.
And Goff throws 5 picks last week against Houston. They still
They
win.
still beat Houston.
It's crazy. So
Yeah.
What do you think? How do you think it's going to shake out?
Yeah, I mean, I think Detroit's the cream of the crop. They're the
Yeah.
most complete. They're the most complete team. I think that Goff situation was an anomaly. I don't think you're going to see too much of that. I think he's too good of a veteran quarterback. I think the Packers, man. I mean, this is just coming from the Viking fan. I hate the Packers, and I cannot stand that Jordan Love is both. I mean, as good as he is, and the fact that they have a backup quarterback that sneaks wins out when he's
Malik
out
Willis.
is
Yeah.
frustrating. It's like you think, here we go, they're gonna lose to the Cardinals, and no, Willis, whatever, gets them through. So the Packers are tough, man. Their defense, very similar to when they won the Super Bowl in 2010. Just super opportunistic back when they had Chucky Woodson. They very opportunistic defense. They give up a lot of yards, so they make me nervous. Yeah, the Lions are. I think they're just going to run away with it. Even though the Vikings gave them a really good game, probably should have beat them. We just didn't get a first down, and we would have beat them. But yeah, it's a tough division. And the Bears. Here's the thing: if it wasn't for that Hail Mary, the Bears are right there. I think last week they laid down because that Hail Mary I think was a backbreaker.
Yeah.
So I get nervous about them too because Caleb Williams he's a freak. I mean he's a rookie, but he's a freak. So he makes me nervous as well. So yeah, it's a tough division to be in.
Yeah. I mean, y'all got the Titans tomorrow, and then this week, and then you get Bears. Yeah, divisional games will start stepping up too because you got Green Bay, you got the Bears twice, and you still have Detroit on the last game of the season, regular season that is. So that'll be interesting to see how that pans out. But
we could
Yeah.
legitimately go 1-3 against the division. I mean, we could legitimately split just knowing the Vikes, and we could go 3-1. It's just hard to say. The black and blue, man, the black and blue North. You just never know who's
Yeah.
gonna take it. But I think if I was betting, I'd say the Vikings end with 11 wins.
Okay.
With 11 wins, I
I think
think
that's
we end up in the
realistic.
playoff. I think
Yeah.
we end up in the playoffs with a home game, and then if we can get into the second round this year, get knocked off, I think that's a good.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if y'all get a home game, man, because Detroit wins the division.
But
Well, yeah.
don't you get a home game if you're the top wild card?
No, you don't.
Mm.
You have to win the division to get a
So
home game.
so then
Yeah.
here's what's happening then. Since that shows how I literally only know about the Vikings. We'll end up playing the Falcons at Atlanta,
Atlanta. Yeah.
which is about as good as it could be because then we
Mhm.
get to go after our guy Kirk in the nice confines of a dome. Don't have to deal with any stupid weather up in Philly, stupid weather out in San Fran. We can just go and nice little cozy Mercedes dome or whatever it is and
Mhm.
get after Kirk.
I love that. So you think the ceiling's probably for this team like a wild card berth and then get a wild card win, maybe divisional round, and then kind of
That's
it.
the best it's going to be. I
Yeah.
hate to say it.
No, I get it.
I
I
don't
kind
think
of
we're
agree.
special enough in those two areas. I said you got to
No.
have an elite quarterback, or you got to have an elite line with an elite. Both sides of the line got to be just solid. You don't have that. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
You're up a creek. That's why Philly's so good. It's got two line. Their line, both sides is just dogs, and then you Jalen Hurts is okay, but man,
Yeah, they won earlier against Washington.
yeah,
Let me
but
ask.
they just
Go
kind
ahead.
of ground them. They just kind of ground them to pulp. I
Mhm.
mean, they're just they're so meaty up front, tough up front. It seems like to me.
Yeah.
So the Vikes need that. We either need JJ to become a top 5 to 15, 5 to 10 quarterback, or we need to shore up our line a little bit. Otherwise, we're going to be what the Vikings have always been, which is just a really good football team, but never a champion.
Yeah. That's the Minnesota curse, I guess.
I hate it.
We'll, we'll switch off topic real quick. Best memory as a Vikings fan. Is it the Case Keenum against Drew Brees in the divisional round?
Yeah, man. It's got to be. I mean,
Mhm.
we thought that was the breaking of the curse, and then Case took us into Philly, and we got our pants beat off of us.
Yeah.
Um,
Nick Foles.
oh my gosh, Nick Foles, yeah, just darting all over the court
He
or
was
all
so
over the
good
field,
that year.
darting.
It's crazy. Those playoffs, he was so good. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
he should have been tested for something because
Yeah.
that didn't even make sense. I met Nick Foles personally, by the way. He was a funny guy.
Yeah.
But anyways, yes, that was amazing. Basement. We had a guy renting from us in our basement. So it was right after church. The game was still going. I rolled down and my wife. I saw that. I can't remember what happened, but I saw that we were down, and I rolled in, and my buddy was super distraught. And then obviously it happened. We went nuts, and it was great. But yeah, Steph Diggs, he was a bad man. He
Yeah.
he was a bad dude. Fifth rounder. It's a good steal. Third rounder, good steal. But yeah, man, watching back in the day, watching Randy Moss and Chris Carter,
Oh gosh.
you take for granted how spoiled you are to be able to see highlight real plays every single week. Like you're just used to it every week. Every week you're gonna have a long touchdown. You're gonna have something super exciting. You just take it for granted. And kind of the same thing with Adrian Peterson. Just every week you're gonna see a highlight reel play. And then we had kind of the dark ages with the Ponder years. But yeah, I tell you what, man, those were some fun times to be a Viking fan.
Okay.
Hopefully the best is yet to come.
With JJ,
Just
better
need
memory.
we just need one Super Bowl. I will hang up. I will not watch another Viking game the rest of my life if we get a Super Bowl. I'm totally content at that point.
I love that.
On the
That's a
football contentment.
yeah.
I'm content in all of life, but that would be awesome.
I love that. What about worst memory as a Vikings fan?
1998, 1998, Gary Anderson. I mean, there's so many. There's so many, but the Gary Anderson, we're up by 7, 2 minutes left against the Falcons, NFC Championship game. We're 15-1, actually 16-1 at that point because we had beaten the socks off the Cowboys, and then we're playing the Falcons. I think we're 10-point favorites, and Gary Anderson at that point was 50 for 50 on field goals. Hadn't missed all year. 35-yarder chip shot, and first of all, he bad snap, bad hold. Guy roughs him, non-call.
Oh,
Right. Falcons come down with 30 seconds left. I forget who the guy was, whoever their quarterback was, throws a ball, hits our safety between the letters, drops it. They score on the next play. Go to overtime. Go to overtime, and they get the ball first, kick, field goal, win, go to Super Bowl. Also, really bad memory is Seattle. We're up 10-9, and we're down 10-9.
Was that the outdoor game?
Blair Walsh,
Yeah.
Negative bajillion degrees.
I remember
Blair
that game.
Walsh, 29-yard field goal, shanks it left at the horn, inexplicable. Also, really bad memory.
I know which one you're gonna talk about.
2009, my guy Brett Favre, supposed to be the savior figure. NFC Championship game, running to the right, throws across his body. Could have run for 5 yards, Brett.
Yeah.
Trot out Ryan Longwell. He'll kick a field goal to take us to the Super Bowl, where we would have for sure beat
Colts.
We would have for sure beat the Colts. So yeah, man, we've always just been knocking on the door. Always been knocking on the door.
That's rough.
But that's all right. That's all right. It keeps it interesting.
I guess, yeah. Oh shit, yeah.
Thankfully, I wasn't there in the '70s when we lost 4 Super Bowls out of 4.
My dad always brings that up. It's funny because
we'd always beat the Rams to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Beat the LA Rams to get there, and then that would be it. We'd run into the buzzsaw, the Steelers, or the Dolphins, or somebody.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, man.
What about
you're a Chargers fan? You get it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat where it's. Can we just get one Super Bowl and I'll be happy as well? It sucks we're in LA now. I mean, I wish it'd be down here in San Diego, but I mean, it just frustrates me that they don't get any help for Herbert. I mean, the team looks good. The defense has changed. I think Harbaugh, I mean, I'm so happy with the Harbaugh coach, and Herbert. I just don't want us to waste away probably the most talented quarterback the team's ever had. So
that's saying something.
Yeah, I think Rivers, he is. I'd take Herbert any day. Yeah.
Yeah, Rivers kind of threw a little kind of.
Rivers can't run, man. I just got sick of it. I never thought Rivers would ever take them to a Super Bowl. I just never had the. But Herbert, I think Herbert has the talent to do it. I do. I think he's good enough to do it. It's just, and now he finally has a defense. I'm not trying to make this like a Chargers pod, but it's just now they finally have a defense to where Herbert's never had a defense since he's been there ever. It's always been like the Vikes a few years ago with Cousins. It's just, hey, you got to keep scoring. And that's how it's always been there. And now all of a sudden it's weird. They have the defense, but we don't have many weapons on offense. But Herbert's still getting it done. We're 6-3, so I'll be at the.
That's all you got. You just need that, man. Yeah, 6-3. Blink, and they're 6-3. I thought they were like. Were they 2-3 at one point? Or
no, they were always. I think they got to 2-2. That's the worst we've been so far this year. They started out 2-0, I believe, and then they got to 2-2, and then everyone's like, okay, it's obviously the offense, and then now I think they've won 4 straight. So they haven't played a bunch of good teams, though. I'll be honest, we haven't played many good teams, but.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. It is go back to my NFL thesis. If you got an elite dude at quarterback, you've always got a shot. So I think if your defense can hold it a little bit, and maybe the Chargers can make a run. I mean, Chiefs are stupid, but if you can some way somebody can beat them in the playoffs, it's a wide open AFC.
It is. I mean, besides the Chiefs, I legit think anyone can beat anyone in the AFC except maybe the Chiefs, because the Chiefs will have home field obviously already pretty much. I mean, with their 10-0, 9-0 already, it's ridiculous. We're blocking 35-yard field goals last week to win the game. It amazes me, but
Andy Reid's he's doing
he's
something illegal. He's got some weird thing going on.
I just wonder if Eagles fans just regret letting him go. I know they got one though with Doug Peterson after they did. So I mean, I guess they can't say that
Everybody's
really.
happy.
Yeah,
Everybody's
that's
happy.
true. That's
All
a
the
good point.
Kelseys are happy. Everybody's happy.
As
It's
long as they're happy.
yeah, everybody's happy. The thing is that yeah, that I mean maybe the Bills go in to here's best case scenario for the Chargers. Bills go in
Mm.
and they have one of those all-time shootouts again, and this time they get it done and they beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And now it's wide open, because then the Bills can always poop themselves.
Oh yeah, which they always do in the playoffs.
Yeah. But they've got a guy, they've got a quarterback that could go in and do it.
Yeah.
I don't know who
Yeah.
else is going to do it, to be honest.
Maybe, yeah, I can't take Baltimore because I don't trust their defense enough. Baltimore's defense has been bad this year. It's bad.
And they're Civ.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did they give up? 34 points to
Bengals.
the Bengals. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, Joey Burrow is good, but
Oh, he's filthy. Yeah.
yeah.
But
What are you
do you
doing
think?
going for two?
Yeah, I don't know. Is your Super Bowl prediction? What's your Super Bowl prediction? While we're talking about it.
Yeah. I mean, I think the betting pick is the Chiefs Lions. And to
Yeah.
be honest, I'm a Lions sympathizer.
Yeah.
I'm a Lions sympathizer. I totally love I love the North minus the Packers. And so I would be about that. Man, I hate to say it. I could totally see the Niners. I could totally see the Niners, just grinding into the playoffs and then, making it. But I just don't trust the Niners on the road too much.
It may be different though this year because Arizona is leading that division right now. If they hold on, Niners, I can't think of the last time the Niners have been a wild card team.
That's
If
a good
Arizona
point.
held on to the division and they'd have to go on the road every game, and I don't know, Purdy, you don't know really on the road. So we don't know because that one NFC Championship game a few years back when they played Philly, when Philly made the Super Bowl, he got hurt. So
That's
it was
right.
just, so
Was
you
that
don't
in
really
Philly?
know.
Or was that in
No,
Philly?
that was in Philly. Yeah, Philly
Yeah,
was
yeah.
dominant that year.
Yeah, and Purdy
But
couldn't throw. That was bad.
yeah, and the Niners defense it's not as scary as it usually is, where it's every time they step on the field, you think they're going to stop or they're going to force a turnover. So I don't know. It's different this year, especially I think Arizona is actually maybe legit, not Super Bowl caliber, but they're good enough to hang in that division and maybe win it. But we'll see. I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, what do you say?
Yeah, Eagles Chiefs.
Yeah,
Eagles Chiefs. I think the Eagle. I mean,
Eagles. Okay, yeah,
I
Eagles.
mean,
Chiefs, yeah.
you look at what have they done. I saw something on X where it was like their point differential is number one. Maybe it's number one now after this last weekend. Since week 4, since week 3, so they've just continued to climb. So I think they're peaking well. The Lions. I think it's probably a toss between the Lions and the Eagles, but I would probably take the Eagles.
Okay.
The Chiefs,
Ooh.
I hate to say it, probably Eagles Chiefs, which that was that
A couple years ago.
2 years ago. I was going to say 2
Yeah.
years ago. So, and as we all know, that brings really good revenue for the NFL. So the stripes will be, on in for that. You want to see that Kelsey thing, but
Swift, of course.
the Swift
T-Swift.
thing. Yeah, the T Swift thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think that'd be good. But hey, sleeper pick
Who's your sleeper? Let's hear it.
is sleeper pick. I do think would be a team like the Chargers. I think they peak at the right time, and you've got your dude. Again, my hypothesis: you got your dude quarterback, and if they can peak at the right time on defense, you just don't know. Again, the Chiefs get beat in a home game, and now
Yep.
it's wide open, and you got Herbert just in the clear, trying to get to the Super Bowl, and then anything can happen. Don't want to get your hopes up.
Yeah.
On the NFC side, I don't see anybody outside of the Lions and Eagles
Yeah.
that really have an inside track. Packers,
I would
Vikes.
say the Packers probably. Like just
I
because of
don't
the
even like to think about
experience.
it.
Just because I mean they should have last year honestly beat San Francisco in San Francisco if you watch like if you saw that game. But I think I love just it was his first playoff run, I think, right? And now he's got the experience. So if they get hot, which I just noticed Green Bay does that. LaFleur always has them ready to go at the end of the season. They kind
Totally.
of just sleepwalk through and then it's like, okay, let's start turning it on a little bit here.
Yeah.
So they'd probably be my surprise out of the NFC. I mean, if
Yeah.
they are really a surprise, they're 6-3. So
That makes me a little sick. So
yeah.
this is a
But,
Viking podcast, by the way.
oh yeah, my bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're
That's
talking NFC North though. We're keeping it
yeah.
in
If you ever
division.
want me to come in and just trash the Packers, I can do it.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Anything else, Vikings? Like what do you want to see if who do, what's the biggest position you want to see like change or in need or free agent they want to go get or something like that?
Yeah, um we're gonna have to replace Harrison Smith in the next year or
He's
two.
he's still there.
Isn't that crazy?
Dude,
Man's
I don't
30,
know.
the man's 34,
Playing
35.
safety.
Yeah, yeah, playing safety. And he's solid. I mean,
Yeah.
he's not yeah, he's doing fine, but you just that's such an important position and has been is for the defense that LaFleur runs. So he's gonna need to get replaced. Obviously, the quarterback position need to see JJ do something next year. Um, Running back is sneaky important for us right now because we don't really. I mean, Aaron Jones is on a 1 year, I think,
Yeah.
but he's kind of made of glass. So
Yeah.
it's it's hard to say if he's going to be. I don't think he's going to be the answer. He's getting up there. I think he might be 28, so he's an old running back. So we might need to go out and find an RB that's just got a lot of explosion and gives JJ some cover. Because if we can't run the ball and we got to throw the ball 40 times a game with JJ, that's going to be bad news.
Yeah. That's not ideal.
So we got to get somebody that we got to be able to run the ball. Darisaw, get him back, and we got a good line. We got a top 10 line. So hopefully he can get healthy for next year. But yeah,
What a prediction. All right, give me a prediction for tomorrow, for Vikings Titans. What do you think the final will be? I
oh man, what's the Titans record right now?
think they're 2-7, 2-8, something like that.
Gosh, you'd hate to lose to the Titans. I think we're +6. I think we might be
-6.
or minus. Yeah, minus. I think we're -6. Yeah, is it in Minnesota or
No, it's at Tennessee. I'm almost
it's
positive.
at Tennessee?
Mhm.
Yeah, man, I hate to say it, but I think they probably keep it close against us.
Yeah, Titans do have a good defense.
Yeah, I think we're probably looking at winning like 20 to man 20 to 15, 20 to 16 maybe. We win by around a touchdown, but maybe a little under. It's a little nerve-wracking. It'll all depend on if Darnold can keep the ball safe. And we had, I want to say we had 420 yards last week
Mm-hmm. You did. It's something insane.
and 12 points, and they had 150 in the only touchdown of the game. They had
It's so bad.
oh, so
It's
if
so
we can avoid
bad.
that,
Red zone
then
turnovers.
red
Yeah.
zone turnovers, we can avoid some. I think we win, but I don't think it's going to be by a lot.
Yeah.
You and I, we'll know after church.
Yeah.
We'll know right there. So
They're favored by 6, and the total's 39.5. If it's a morning game, be
39 and a
interesting.
half.
Yeah, total's 39. So yeah, they're expecting low
So I took
scoring.
the under.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would definitely take the under in that game for sure.
Yeah.
Because both defenses are pretty legit. I think what happens to the Titans a lot this year, they've been in games in the first half and then they just get worn out. The defense just gets worn out in the second half because they're on the field so much because the offense isn't doing much.
So Will Levy is the
Yeah, he's back. I think he started last week against the Chargers, so he'll be back for this game. So it'll be interesting.
Who's their dude on offense?
Levis, I would say they have Ridley. Ridley's actually had a decent year at receiver. They got Pollard at running back, Tajay Spears. So those two guys, and that's kind of it. Their O-line's decent, but it's just Ridley, and then it's those two running backs probably, I would say.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. Last week, Hawk kind of stole the show a little bit in the pass game. It'll be interesting to see how they scheme against Hawkinson and JJ.
Oh, yeah. That's a nice addition to have back.
Yeah, man. Well, he was eating up the Jaguars last week because the Jaguars were really focusing on JJ, as you should. And then Hawkinson was just over the middle all day long. And so it'll be interesting to see if Darnold can start to really spread it well. Really would love to see JJ have a game. He hasn't had like an elite game for a few weeks. Actually, since I was at the Rams game, he had I think like a 4 catch for 100 or 5 catch for 140 or something, but hasn't had a tutty in a minute. So love to see JJ get going. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, how's
different playing on grass?
You know, he's been quiet this year after he had a really good rookie year last year. Is Addison? Did he get hurt?
No, he was hurt a little bit. Well, he had that firearm situation, or DUI or something. Maybe it was a DUI.
Okay.
He had to do it. Yeah, he coming into the season, I think that was taking up some of his headspace. Is my estimation. So he is a really and here's the other thing: when you got the captain tossing you the ball, that's just different. When you got Captain Kirk throwing it to you, it's kind of like Sidney Rice back in the day. Sidney Rice goes off for like 1,400 yards and like 100 catches and like 15 touchdowns. Well, it's because Brett Favre's throwing to you. Yeah, and then after that, he didn't do anything after that. So I get a little concerned that Addison was just kind of feeding on a really good quarterback throwing to him, and now that he's got a guy like Darnold, where you're just, I mean, Darnold's okay, but I mean, Kirk was just, he knew how to get it to a guy like Addison when they were taking JJ away, taking Hawk away, and then Addison was always, that third option just wide open. So I don't know if Darnold's as dialed in.
Yeah, I would say I think Addison too had a better season last year too, because I think wasn't Jefferson out for a few games too. He got hurt, I remember, last year a little bit. He was true. Out. Yeah, so Addison had to step up.
He was hurt. Yeah, he was hurt kind of in the middle of the season, so he did get some wide out one looks and he filled in well. Naylor has been getting a lot of time, or getting a lot of looks and a lot of targets. He's fast, and so I think he's been our main kind of dump down underneath guy. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Addison kind of figures out what, that kind of wide out 2 situation.
Yeah. All right, man. I think we've got a few minutes left if you want anything else, or we can call it early. Up to you. Any other notes, Vikes, anything else? Football?
Man, we're on our backup kicker.
Okay.
So don't let that slip you by for casual watchers.
Who's the kicker now? What's his name?
I can't remember his name, but we lost our draft pick, Will Reichert or whatever.
Okay.
And he was doing really well.
John Parker Romo.
Yeah. Okay. Not the name you want kicking your field goals.
Tony Romo.
Yeah, Tony's godson.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, man. That makes me a little nervous, just knowing that the Vikes are not just, again, we're not punching it in a lot. So you need to have a guy that's super consistent at kicker. So I'm just saying, for all those casual watchers out there, don't be surprised if you see some more Viking heartbreak on last minute kicks. We're used to it. We know how it feels. So prepare yourselves.
Okay. All right.
That's it. There's the last hot take.
Prepare yourselves. Coming from words of James Leffler. I love it. True diehard Vikings fan. Yeah, again, thanks for coming on, James. This is Sports is Life. I'm James Myers again. Thanks for coming on, James.
Oh, my joy, James. Love it, man.
James and James. JJ. James. As we just mentioned. Great name.
Sounds great.
All right. That'll do it for this show. We'll talk other teams next week and we'll get into it. Thanks again, James.
See you, buddy.